Hey people, Intro here, 53, Faction War. This is Estia Province and the Eldar versus Tyranids. For the blue Eldar fellas, we got Kingfisher as a Farseer support hero fighting in melee with some powerful buffs and control alongside Pax. There he is with a Warlock, a melee spellcaster that leaps into combat with some powerful disruption and support. Rounded off the team is the Tenso as a Warp Spider Exarch teleporting hero fighting in ranged combat by default. Great for capping and harassing, some powerful control, looks like the same high elite scheme. And speaking of harassment, here comes Exterminatus as a Lictor Alpha. Gets the special attack, didn't even need to use the flesh hook there. This is a melee specialist that infiltrates and disrupts some powerful offense and a bit of support alongside Alias, fleeing from the Warlock as a Raffiner Alpha. A tunneling hero, great mobility, powerful offense and a bit of support. Begins with a ranged weapon, the Destructor is decent. Rounded off the teams though is the TheBlastFurnace as a Hive Tyrant. A durable hero, walking through objects, cannot be suppressed with powerful offense, disruption and support, potentially. Begins in melee with a basic synapse. I shall call you Pablo against the Farseer on the west side. Banshee's getting through there. Hormagaunts trying to counter-initiate the Hormagaunts, and they're doing a bloody good job. Banshees are going to wipe, I think. Banshees do indeed wipe first engagement. Pax's get away. The Tenso has backed off, I think. Flesh hook. Oh, doesn't drag him over the sandbags, though. Now the Banshees are a big threat to low-level heroes, including that Lictor Alpha. Needs to be careful. He's chasing him here. Well, he's going to get himself in a bad spot, I think. Now the Banshees can take him down. Those power weapons are deadly. Down he goes. Sync kill at the end. Might delay their retreat a bit. Are they going to get away here? Because there's Hormagaunts with adrenal glands in retreat path. A bunch of firepower as well. I think they'll be alright. They drop another model. Down to 2. They are okay. Could see some heavy gauge over here from that Warp Spider Exarch. Got Shurikens coming in. Rangers for the Tenso. Double cut Termagant Broods all the way through for the Tyranids. Pablo the Hive Tyrant being frustrated by those Guardians getting into the garrison there. Hormagaunts with adrenal glands. Yep, taking that victory point. No sign of any toxin sacks yet. Straight into a Warrior Brood for Alias and a Warrior Brood for Exterminatus. Those guys will provide the basic synapse that the Hive Tyrant does. So maybe we'll go into Raveners for the TheBlastFurnace here. Unless they want the Barbed Stranglers up to dissuade things from getting into these garrisons and frustrating him. 483 to 444. Bunch of dead Tyranids in the mid. I feel like the Warlock could make a big difference early game. Maybe with Immolator or channeling runes to help the Howling Banshees get into combat. 2-1 here for the red Tyranids. There's the leap in. Rotating towards the east there. No aspect yet for these Howling Banshees. We do have a decap on that wreck point thanks to that Warp Spider Exarch. Warlock closing the distance, a little bit isolated there. Maybe should have waited. Rangers getting some shots. They do have their long rifles in play with Pathfinder gear. Kinetic Pulse setting up the Banshee push. That's going to be a dicey melee fight though, isn't it? With Adrenal Gland, Hormagaunts and Warrior Brood in there. They got the Warrior Brood out of there quite quickly, jumping over stuff with the aspect of fleetness. I think they're going to be alright. Yeah, there's nothing in retreat path. But if the Warriors can get some good knockbacks on the Howling Banshees, that fight could turn bad really quick. Warp Spider Exarch, level 2. He does have, he has like 22 DPS melee, I think, by default, so he could tie up the Termagants very effectively. About the same DPS range. But I think that all changes with heavy gauge. I guess we'll see, because here it comes. I think it ups the range damage but lowers the melee DPS. Meanwhile, the Banshees of Pax escape, jumping over stuffs. Kingfisher deciding not to replace the Howling Banshees, gets double Shurikens up instead. Rangers rotating towards the mid. Warlock getting knocked around. Does have Immolator. Oh, and channeling runes. So probably throw out the Immolator and then channel some runes. Because once you start channeling, you need to channel it. Warrior Brood 4 is a decent grenade. This is looking a bit dicey. Hormagaunts getting it into the back of the Shuriken cannon. with a Lictor Alpha helping out. There's a Flesh Hook on the Warp Spider, breaking stuff. 474 to 396 very early on. Banshee's going to go down. I didn't even know where they were. I just spotted their portrait looking a bit unhealthy. Guess they came... Did they come in from the east or something? Tried to get a flank and got set upon by a whole bunch of hungry Tyranids. There's a Ravener Brood Burrow Strike. Hard countering the Shuriken, but not hard countering two of them. Although Pablo was able to get in, has a warp field up, making him even tankier and difficult to deal with. And of course there's like a massive bonus to leveling when he's got this, because he gets the health increase and the energy increase, which makes a warp field more effective. It's like a multiplier to leveling. Webway gates instantly taken down. Their Tenso does replace the Howling Banshees here. Oh, let's see this. Yeah, look, goes up to almost 35 piercing DPS ranged, but the melee DPS goes down to just below 18. I believe his default melee DPS is higher than that. I think it's over 20, just over 20. And he's got a special attack, of course. Too many Shuriken cannons for poor Pablo. The Farseer gets onto the VP. They will maintain their lead as the players start to think about their tier 2s. In fact, Alias is in tier 2, going the Synapse Aura for damage immediately. Did you guys get melee? No. Ravener Brood for Exterminatus and the TheBlastFurnace, neither of them have the specialized melee upgrade. There's Crack Shot on the Rangers. It's kind of like the Farseer's Guide, giving damage and range. But you need to use it with your global bar. Adrenal Glands on the Warrior Brood, for Alias. Hormogaunts aren't upgraded though. I feel like you should upgrade your Hormogaunts if you're going to throw the Adrenal Glands on with that melee Synapse. Tyranids extending quite far to get this. Oh, they want to steal the power. They could have bashed it, but they are going for the steal. Kingfisher asking for some input on tier 2 stuff. Grenade is dodged. 423 to 373 on the VPs. Can they break out here? There's the Immolate. Very good area denial against those Termagant Broods. Warlock in a bit of a spot here though. Lictor Alpha's in there, Hormagaunt's in there, Warrior Brood in there. Kicking off on the west side. Pablo trying to face tank the Shuriken, didn't work out. Even with his shield, already seemed to be down. Shuriken in the garrison as well. Is it worth getting a Barbed Strangler Warrior Brood just because of these garrisons, maybe? Ouch. Ravener Alpha dropping a model. Grenade on retreat path. Couldn't quite place it. Nice idea from Pax. Kingfisher, that was actually. Pax is in the mid. Shuriken setting up. Again, they're right on the power. Decent grenade. Banshees yelling. And there's the channeling runes healing them up. Super effective heal. Did the Tenso get an aspect? Yeah, got fleetness again. And the Warp Spider Exarch is down on the eastern side. Tyranids have that power as well. And they still have this one even. Only now it's being decapped. They got a decent amount of power out of that. Some late tier 2s though. The TheBlastFurnace and Exterminatus are not even tier 2 yet. Falcon on the way for Pax. Warp Spiders for Kingfisher. And Warp Spiders for the Tenso. There's an Immolate and a Shuriken. Messing up their ability to get out of the fire because they get suppressed, of course. What is this? Adrenal Gland Hormagaunt's bashing power. Shuriken's pushed up on the west side. There's a Burrow Strike. Guide on the Guardians. Yeah, and they should be able to deal with the Ravener Brood. They dropped a model before they even finished their burrow, I think. Reviving is the Warlock. They want to steal this contested power, looks like. Hormagaunt's not very good at bashing power, are they? I thought they'd be better with the Adrenal Glands. I don't think all of the models can get around the generator to hit it. Is one of their problems there. Meanwhile, the Tyranids' power is getting bashed. There's a tunnel here, just behind that archway. Webway going up on the western edge. Could be quite sneaky. Tyrant Guard on the way for Blast Furnace. Tier 3 for Alias. What is this? A whole bunch of stuff. Grenades. Falcon is in play. Transport vehicle for Eldar. You can reinforce your units around it. Your allies can as well, and you can jump inside. Got some good weaponry. It's quite an expensive transport though, isn't it? Like 80 or 90 power or something. But it does some good work. Power bashed over there, and they're stealing, and here is the Tyrant Guard. Big bucket hit points, and some dangerous melee with splash damage too. Very, very slow. When he's not in Synapse especially. Pablo, you okay? Pablo's not okay. Tyrant Guard charging in, knocking over some friendly stuff, I think. Has super heavy infantry armor, so we'll have some natural resistance to this piercing fire. Basic piercing damage of the shuriken cannon. Doesn't like haywires though. That was a haywire grenade, slowing him down. 423 to 270. Big VP lead for the Eldar. Tyranids stealing power again. And we have the Corrosive Devourer and Regenerate. Huge investment into this Ravener Alpha. Is now quite a powerful combatant. Still only level 2 though, but very nearly level 3. And everything goes better when you level. Health, energy, regen for both of those things, damage, melee skill, everything gets better. Banshees, you okay? Bringing them back to the Shuriken. Ah, the Shuriken repositions though. Should have stayed where it was, I think. The Venom Brood in play for Exterminatus to put some pressure on the Falcon, and they have ranged Synapse to buff the double Termagants and the Raveners. If they're close enough, that is. It's that bright green Synapse that you see. Falcon's getting repairs. Needs to be careful though. Shuriken's in the garrison. And you're not invulnerable in there. And there's Hormagaunts waiting. I think maybe Pax is trying to get rid of these Hormagaunts before retreating these guys, but they couldn't get away. Needed to get them moving way, way quicker. Back to the west side though. It's blue. Almost 200 VP lead for the Eldar. In fact, just over that. Warp Spiders have done a great job since they hit the field. You've got to time those teleports for maximum frustration. Force the enemy to get nice and close to you, thinking they can hit you. Teleport at the last minute. Make them move maximum distance. Holding on to that VP. And there's that Tyrant Guard again. Alias down to 3 units, but he is tier 3, Alias. Exterminatus also goes. I don't think they've been bashed that much, have they? This has been bashed, it seems. It's getting bashed again. I'm not sure how much damage they did over here. Well, they're bashing again. Maybe they were bashed more than I thought, because they are struggling to get tier 3 units out here. Well, Alias is. How's that Ravener Alpha doing? Almost level 4 now. I mean, the plasma damage of this isn't really doing much. But it could. Wraithguard and Dark Reapers and Fire Dragons are all heavy infantry. The Avatar, of course, is super heavy infantry. Ravener Brood of the Bowstrike. Get rid of the Shuriken. And you need to very quickly get onto that VP. Speaking of VPs, we got this. Termagant Brood on the natural. And Tyranids pushing through. And with a Venom Brood in there, yeah, they're going to power bash very, very quickly. Howling Banshees with a War Shout. Was it you? It was the Tenso. Slicing up Warrior Brood. Doing some really good work. Even tanking all that range DPS. Well done, those Howling Banshees. Only level 1 as well. I mean, they did have backup, but they took all that damage, I think. Tyranids with a triple cap all of a sudden. Because of Alias getting through the mid there. Still needs more power for stuff. They only have plus 22 per minute at the moment. Need to be purchasing gens, fellas. Oh, their node is going back up. Being harassed by the Guardians in the garrison. There's tier 3 for Blast Furnace and for all of the Eldar players now. Falcon still being a big pain in the arse too. The tier 2 purchases for the Eldar players did really well. The double Warp Spiders and the Falcon. And the Tyranids didn't really get tier 2 stuff. Only just Tyrant Guard. Oh, I guess the Venom Brood as well. The Tyrant Guard's done well. into level 2. There's no capillary towers anywhere. Help that guy get to the front line. Help everything get to the front line. I can't get out the other way of the gates because Kingfisher. Having trouble with his gates. 320 to 169. Falcon trying to stay at maximum range for packs. The Warlock is down where? Over here. Pushing on the power is Pablo. Pushing on the VP, sorry. Just striding through a bunch of damage. Collapsing in on that stuff with Exterminatus. Gets level 3. And there's some bioplasma. I think they're set to adjust this. Speed up the animation a bit. But that was electroshock rubs, was it, on the Falcon. Now has a shield up. Who has electroshock over here? Pablo goes for the decap, and they bloody need it. They're getting dangerously close to that 100 VPs. Farseer through decapping. Oh, there is a capillary tower there. And over there. Maybe I just didn't... Oh, yeah, because they don't show on the map. I always expect them to show on the map, but they don't. Carnifex on the way for Exterminatus. Not sure what Alias is waiting for here. Level 5 Ravener Alpha, though. Getting blasted to death. You gonna be okay, buddy? Rangers. Couldn't get shots. Falcon could maybe chase. But looks like the Ravener Alpha escapes. Can do some anti-vehicle damage, of course, with the Corrosive Devourer. The Falcon's been used very well so far. We got D cannons in play now for Pax and the Tenso. And the Fire Prism, you just saw get a shot there, for Kingfisher. Right Lance goes into the garrison, as is the Shuriken. Getting damage on them with the splash, though. That's nasty. Might wipe them both. Boom. Boom. Shuriken and Bright Lance taken out by a very pissed off Tyrant Guard there. Level 3, this fella. Taking Fire Prism shots, though. Might need to charge away. Can go into a shield wall. But it's generally not something you want to use out in the field. If you can help it. And the Farseer falls. That's a bad fight for Kingfisher. Does have the Fire Prism, though. Meanwhile, this is the Tenso rotating towards the mid-west position. Lictor Alpha, still level 1, no war gear. Sneak in. I think he just wants to get a decap on the VP, maybe. Not sure, though. D-Cannon doing stuff. And here is a Carnifex. No upgrade yet. Starts off as a big melee beastie. Lictor Alpha, not sure what it was up to, but goes down. Singularity in there, grenades in there. Everything flees from the Singularity. Some of it gets dragged in. And a Tyranno formation from one of the Tyranids. The Carnifex levels and gets Stranglethorn. An interesting fight. Losses on both sides. There's that Stranglethorn. Good damage to everything. Slow firing, and it suppresses infantry. And a Neurothrope up for Alias. That's what they went for, really. They still have tons of resources. Are they saving for a Swarmlord here? The Swarmlord really 200 power still. Carnifex on the way this time for BlastFurnace. Eldar faltering in their momentum a little bit here. Yep, Swarmlord on the way, and yes, he is 200 power still. That Carnifex is very, very far forward. Another Tyranno formation. Don't know how much that one did. Got the suppression on the Banshees there, and they're okay. Eldar taking the natural back. Look at the map all of a sudden. Quite red. More Fire Prisms coming in for both Kingfisher and Pax. Pax did drop the D-Cannon. I guess that, maybe that first Tyranno formation got it. Uh-oh. Neurothrope getting burned by the Warlock here. That's quite a lot of damage, isn't it? I guess it stacks up. 250 to 140. Do they get XP for these capillary towers? Let's see. You ladies going to level up? I don't think they leveled up, you guys. I don't think they got any XP for that. I think you get red. Yeah, you get red for it, so you'd think you'd get XP, but maybe not. Or I just didn't spot it. Maybe it was a very small amount. Level 4 Warlock straight through onto the natural VP of the Tyranids, and there is the Swarm Lord. The Carnifex of Blastfurnace has got a Venom Cannon. This is to fight the Fire Prisms. Fire Prisms need to stay at maximum range of that guy, especially with Bioplasma shots going in as well. Those guys can spit Bioplasma when they have a Venom Cannon. Channeling runes to help the Banshees out, and they need it. And then he gets knocked over by the Raveners though. Banshees get out. Electroshock grubs onto the Fire Prism. Can anything follow up? Swarmlord is trying to get to the front line. There's a Cataclysm thrown in there. Swarmlord is not moving up anymore though. 224 to 140 on the VPs. Here he comes. Powerful melee combatant that has a speed and reinforcement synapse around him. Goes after the Falcon. Taking Fire Prism shots as well. He's got 2,000 hit points of vehicle armor, this fella, which is quite a lot. He does move relatively quick, especially when he's got that melee charge going. Doesn't want to chase for too long though. 206 to 140. Might be time to turn around there, buddy. There's Leech Essence to heal up as he just overextended this thing like crazy. Still going. Chrono Formation in base. Swarmlord still going. Looks like it's just going to go down here. Pushed back a bunch of stuff, didn't do that much damage, and goes down. Wonder if he lost control of it. There is that persistent decade-old bug where you lose control of a melee walker or a melee vehicle. Seems to affect Carnifexes and Wraithlords the most, for whatever reason. Got a decap though. They did get a decap, and Alias just gets another Swarmlord. Okay. More Fire Prisms. There's gonna be 6 of them. Bloody hell. And the Falcon, of course. They need lots and lots of anti-vehicle. Another Carnifex or Blast Furnace. They do have the Venom Brood, and they have this Venom Cannon. The Hive Tyrant. Oh, he's got Crushing Claws. I was going to say he can get a Venom Cannon of his own. He's got a powerful anti-vehicle weapon, but he needs to get into melee now with it. Just goes after some Guardians. Can he get the Farseer? Special attack. Farseer escapes. That Fire Prism got kind of low, but lives. Eldar get their natural back, 150 to 140. VP's very even. Alias has cancelled the Swarmlord and goes Carnifex, maybe after spotting all of these Fire Prisms, eh? Got a range on that Falcon. Warlock trying to get onto the VP. Was not knocked far enough away to stop capping, but can't finish the decap. Banshee's in there too, with some power melee kicks. Doing some good work. Now getting disrupted by the Warrior Broods. That's a lot of firepower from all the Eldar vehicles, eh? This Carnifex is getting messed up. Blastfurnace gets another Stranglethorn Cannon. Here's the first Carnifex of Alias, and gets another one on the way. And they need many Venom Cannons, I think. Eldar onto the west side now. 128 to 140 on the VPs. There's Electroshock. Falcon just tanking stuff from the shield there. Nothing yet for this Carnifex of Alias. Wanted to get the second one up first, I guess. Generally a good idea. How much is it to get their Venom Cannon even? Not sure. Here it is. There's 30 power. I thought it was more than that. I thought it was 40. Seems like a bargain. 125 to 140 on the VPs. This Neurothrope not doing a lot to these vehicles, but can perhaps punish Guardians that are trying to repair and stuff. Can they get this one down? Can they get the Falcon down? They can. Falcon falls. No reinforcements in the field then. Are they going to chase the fire prisms? They are not. So 2-to-1 cap for the Tyranids. Seer Council on the way for the Tenso. And they could be excellent to tie up the Carnifexes now that they can get heavy melee. Big fight here. Lictor Alpha's in there. And there's the channeling runes on those Banshees. Big push by the Tyranids. That Carnifex is really far forward there. Trying to get that fire prism down. More Carnifexes with venom cannons. Now there's 4 of them at least. Is that one going to get finished? Looks like it's far enough away, maybe. Might be worth getting some... Oh, that Bioplasm was good. Might be worth getting some Zone Tropes to heal them. Awesome push by the Tyranids. Another Bioplasma and another Fire Prism falls. Time to move away from the Fire Prisms and into Fire Dragons and Wraith Guard and stuff, I feel like. And Bright Lances. But Pax is getting another one. I don't think it's a good idea. They don't trade well with Venom Cannon Carnifexes unless you can keep maximum range all of the time, which is really difficult to do. 89 to 140. Swarmlord on the way now for Exterminatus. And they can speed up the Carnifexes, can't they? So that could be awesome. Good Bioplasma hit there. Yeah, especially when there's Bioplasma. Makes it even harder to trade with the Carnifexes effectively. Pax did get another one though. So there's still 5 Fire Prisms on the field. Carnifex is now backing away. They've taken a bunch of damage, but they've done a bunch of damage. Spawning some Spore Mines. Now they may need to march all the way back to base to heal. You can't repair a Carnifex. You can heal it with a Zone Thrope. Down goes one. They did get one. Looks like the Warlock went for that cap and got taken out. There's a Swarmlord. Exterminatus is Swarmlord. Alias with another Carnifex. Where's the Ravener Alpha? He's down. That guy could help take out the Fire Prisms if he was up. Seer Council dealt with. They do have their fancy spears. Not sure they want to fight the Swarmlord though. Uh-oh. Is that an Eldritch? Or a Singularity? I think it's a Singularity, yeah. I thought there wasn't Beacon on the field, but it was. Level 3 Warrior Brood able to tank it, so is the Ravener Brood. And they get away. 1-to-1 cap. Eldar get back onto the west side because of the Carnifex extension. They were able to get back. Carnifex is all healing up at base at the moment. Brood nest up on that side. Global ability of the Hive Tyrant. Helps you reinforce in the field and stuff. Level 5 Hive Tyrant now, Pablo. Another Swarmlord. Well played. BlastFurnace got the Eldar off the cap. Don't think he can push through though. Bunch of Fire Prisms showed up. 5 of them over here. Still the 1-to-1. What is this? Sneaky Termagant Brutes. Lictor Alpha level 2 and down. Yeah, down those 2 heroes is making a big difference. The Lictor Alpha could get the Terrifying Visage or something. And terrify some Seer Council. Menacing Visage, I think it's called. More Fire Prisms, they're going for it. And they got that Carnifex. So much for Fire Prisms not trading with them, eh? Because they are cheaper than a Carnifex, right? And with the threat of the Seer Council, that's going to really help. Really help. Are they damaging both of them with those shots? Oh, double Bioplasma almost got the Fire Prism down. 65 to 117. What is this? A whole bunch of Tyranids power bashing and maybe looking at the VP. Lictor Alpha goes for it back to his feet. Should revive this fella, I think. Wants the VP though. Still got no war gear, right? Nope. Might be worth getting a deadly leap just so he could jump away. Got some backup here though. Is it enough? Uh-oh. That's an Eldritch. And a Singularity. And a knockback from the Fire Prism. Oh boy. That was nasty. Poor Exterminatus. Back to the west side. Tyranids taking back the VP. Fire Prism taken out. Goes on a joyride. And explodes. He gets 63 red. That's a weird number. Pretty big number as well. Swarmlord rampaging through the front lines. Carnifex is marching back to heal again. There is a ton of formation there. I wonder if that hit the Fire Prism. Kingfisher has 3 Fire Prisms and nothing else. 64 to 100. I'm not sure if Exterminatus actually lost a whole unit in that, but took a huge amount of damage. There's a 2 to 1 for the Tyranids. It's close. Every fight is absolutely massively vital now. Seer Council off the field. They're almost level 2. Here come Guardians. Where are the Fire Dragons? Maybe they don't want the Fire Dragons because of the Swarm Lords and just go and slice them up. Swarm Lords give you another threat, don't they? Big fat melee threat. Whereas these ranged Carnifexes don't give you that. Is that the same colour scheme? No, not quite. Tyranids back onto the west side now. Farseer poking a capillary tower. She is level 5 and no war gear for her either. You'd think surely she'd want the time field up. I mean, I'm sure Kingfisher would like to have it. You know, resources and stuff. Tyranids on natural here. Have nukes, says TheBlastFurnace. That could stop a cap. Looks like the Tyranids are maybe going to get a triple. Where's the Hive Tyrant? He's level 6. Needs to get onto this. Has bonded exoskeleton now. Well, maybe he already had it. Maybe he's had it for ages. March of the Carnifexes towards these Fire Prisms here. Bioplasma. More Bioplasma. Down goes one. Single cap for Tyranids. So they're not going to quite get a triple. It's going to be a 2 to 1. Lictor Alpha on the cap there, is it? Yes. Eldritch. Misses. Something's got through onto the Tyranids natural here. It's some very brave Guardians apparently. Level 4 fellas. You okay? I think they're alright. And now the Tyranids can try and sweep all the way through the mid. Meanwhile, that has turned red. Another Fire Prism falls. And another Fire Prism's on the way for Pax. Got a little bit of tunnel vision here. Like, I'm tier 3, I'm going to get tier 3 units. Whereas, maybe Fire Dragons would be the way to go, especially with channeling support. And you've got an allied Farseer to guide them. Those Bioplasmas are nuts, aren't they? Fire Prism gets the hell out of there. Farseer is slain. Banshee's war shouting. With that channeling support. You need to run. You just need to run when they start getting channeled. What are you going to do? And he can shoot. I think he can shoot his ranged attack while he's channeling. Which is pretty good for the Immolator. Does damage over time. I think this is it, boys. There's the Tenso. Double cap at the end. GG indeed. The Tyranids, though, able to get it done, I think. Yep, single cap, and they do it. There's a downed Farseer level 5, downed Warlock level 6, and a downed Warp Spider Exarch level 5. The Carnifexes did it in the end. They grinded it out, and the Swarm Lords did some really good work. Later on, level 8 Hive Tyrant Pablo. Level 7 Ravener Alpha was down for a while, wasn't he? And a Lictor Alpha, no war gear level 3. Did some cheeky decappings and backline stuff though, eh? Well, there you have it, guys. A bloody good one, I think. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and big thanks to these players for getting us a faction war, and of course the main man, the Tenso, for organising things and sending me the replay. I'll see you guys next time.